We loved these faces. We cheered these events.
Oh, this is so exciting!
We rooted for these characters against all odds. And the moments stayed with us long after the lights came up. Welcome to our 5-part look at the 101 most awesome moments in entertainment. When we say awesome, we mean unforgettable.
Oh, my nose!
We mean moments that made us laugh and cry, occasionally at the same time. Our countdown is a combination of timeless treasures and guilty pleasures.
You're fired.
You won't find Citizen Kane on our list, but you might see Caddyshack. We gathered the most spectacular moments from movies, television, music, and real life. So get set for our trek through this blast from the not-too-distant past of entertainment. James Bond to Austin Powers, The Beatles to Beyoncé. Every moment, awesome.
What a night this is going to be.
I don't believe it, I don't believe it.
We begin the countdown with awesome moment number 101.
Well, they could have at least said happy birthday. I mean, it was just like any other day.
We can't believe it's been more than 2 decades since the John Hughes film 16 Candles lit up movie screens. Samantha, played by Molly Ringwald, has a major crush on heartthrob Jake, played by Michael Schofling. Trouble is, he doesn't know she exists. Who couldn't relate?
Every girl has like a Jake Ryan in their life, the guy that they never thought that they could get.
16 Candles, I've seen at least 16 times. I knew at one point every single line to that movie.
On some level, it rings a bell with everyone.
She was so real. She was just a real teenager. You just could feel the pain she was going through and the awkwardness.
Somebody's always 16.
In typical Hollywood fashion, 16 Candles delivers a feel-good ending.
Correct.
It already came true.
Samantha gets to kiss the high school hunk.
She's finally getting her 16th birthday. I mean, it's just it's a real sweet moment, and it's, you know, honestly, it's a little bit of a female fantasy moment, because Molly Ringwald, as attractive as she is kind of playing the regular girl, and you know, she gets the hunky dreamboat, who turns out to be a good guy as well. 16
Candles launched a new wave of teen comedies. Ringwald went on to star in 2 more John Hughes movies.
It was honestly like this runaway train. It was just happening. It was like one thing after the other. The climax was Time magazine, and I mean, it's just wild. How can you get more popular than having Time magazine put you on the cover?
Schofling retired from the biz.
Instead of banging my head on the floor waiting for another job as an actor, I can keep working as a carpenter.
But his sweet smooch with Molly is our awesome moment number 101. For 6 steamy seasons, the female foursome of Sex and the City kept viewers fascinated.
Who wants the winner?
Sarah Jessica Parker's Carrie Bradshaw certainly enjoyed her share of heated hookups.
I've had great experiences with a man on the show. I've been really lucky.
But all along, one particular man kept Carrie on her toes. He was known only as Mr. Big, a.k.a. actor Chris Noth.
The audience just accepts it. We don't know Mr. Big's name. That's his name. We call him Big.
He's the man in her life. She's the woman in his life. Like a lot of people with chemistry, it's push and pull, and they can never really be together in a way, and they can never really be apart.
Mr. Big from the beginning was built in as an important part of the series, conceived as the frustrating holy grail of men.
The relationship was on again,
Hey.
off again.
See ya.
On, off,
He's married.
off, on again.
It took me a really long time to get here.
But the guy's name remained a mystery to viewers until the series finale in 2004. After 6 years, producers had just 1 hour to tie up a whole lot of loose ends.
I had a life in New York. I had a job and friends, and I didn't give all of that up to come here and wander the streets of Paris alone.
Carrie ultimately chooses Mr. Big and the Big Apple. And toward the end of the show, Carrie's cell phone rings. It's Mr. Big, the name on Carrie's caller ID. The name audiences waited 6 years to learn is finally revealed. It's John.
Hey.
I think that humanizing him by giving him a name at the end sort of showed that Sarah Jessica Parker was now empowered and she had finally come into her own.
I think it was a good name, don't you? John. Mr. Big.
Okay, so we still don't know his last name, but at least they gave us something.
We hear maybe he's getting his own show.
Mr. Big! Exclamation point.
Definitely an awesome moment, number 100. 1969 was a tumultuous time in America. Riots and anti-war protests dominated the headlines. The only safe haven where peace and harmony ruled was the home of Carol and Mike Brady. The Brady Bunch told the story of a blended family with 2 parents, 6 kids, a feisty housekeeper, and a dog. But for some fans, the Brady Bunch was really about Marsha.
Marsha Brady was the cause of a lot of comparative anxiety. Because she just had it all. And she was so gorgeous. And her biggest problem was that her hair got a tangle.
Perhaps Marsha Brady's most memorable experience was the time she was asked out by Doug, the really hot guy from school.
I was wondering if you'd like to go to a dance with me on Saturday night.
Marsha breaks her date with good old Charlie. Things look swell until... Suddenly, things look swollen.
When Marsha Brady got hit with a football, I think that most American girls stood up and rejoiced.
One glance at her busted schnoz, and the studly Doug bails on poor Marsha.
Something suddenly came up.
And I just felt so bad for Marsha because she really wanted to go out on this date, and he wasn't going to date her with a big nose.
Marsha Brady learns a valuable lesson in this episode, as do we all.
Please don't throw footballs at your sister's nose.
I learned that you better try to look really good for the hot guy. Okay? I didn't learn the Brady Bunch lesson.
It's number 99 on our list of awesome moments in entertainment. In the glittering world of award shows, it's not unusual for gracious winners to acknowledge their fellow nominees. But at the 1998 Golden Globe ceremony, one actor took this practice a step further. Ving Rhames earned a nomination for playing the title role in Don King, Only in America. Jack Lemmon was also nominated. It came time to open the envelope.
Ving Rhames, Don King!
When Rhames took the stage, well, his admiration for the late, great Mr. Lemmon became very evident.
Is Mr. Jack Lemmon here? Is he here? Would you please come up here, sir? Come on. I feel that being an artist is about giving, and I'd like to give this to you, Mr. Jack Lemmon. Sure.
Ving, oh, honey, why did you do that? I was getting all emotional with you, the tears, the drama.
The way he did it was so nice. It wasn't pompous. It wasn't a, oh, I'm giving you my award. It was very humbly bestowed, and it was heartfelt.
I wish I could accept this.
I couldn't believe it, actually. I just could not believe it. I thought that was so cool of him.
When you get an award, you know your peers, the industry, everybody is saying, we validate you, honey, we love you. And then to give that love to somebody else, ooh, I would have been clutching my pearls. Nay, I say.
How often do you see an actor kind of give up the limelight in a moment like that? It was pretty wonderful.
That was good. That was paying respect. Paying respect.
Awesome moment in entertainment, number 98.
I think it's the most wonderful moment and craziest moment in the history of the Golden Globes.
The countdown is just getting started. When we come back, a TV mom gets it on, a gathering of glitterati, and John Travolta's most awesome moment ever. Plus,
you go, girl! You do your thing!
Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to 101 Most Awesome Moments in Entertainment. In 1980, executives at Paramount Pictures never expected much from a screwball comedy called Airplane.
And there had been spoofs and satires before, but never something that was this outlandish.
It's basically because it got away with everything that nowadays is considered politically incorrect.
The filmmakers went all out when it came to casting.
When I read the script, I called my agent. I told him, I said, don't tell them, but I'll do this for nothing.
Leslie Nielsen was not known as a comedic guy at the time, and he just busted out a hilarious, straight performance. That was just very funny.
The secret of airplane humor is that they do not try to tell you what's funny.
Of the many outrageous moments, one cameo stood out. Barbara Billingsley, the perfectly square mom on Leave It to Beaver, made a brief appearance as an unusually helpful passenger.
I speak jive.
Oh, good.
He said that he's in great pain and he wants to know if you can help him.
All right, would you tell him to just relax and I'll be back as soon as I can with some medicine?
Just hang loose, blood. She's gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
What it is, Big Mama? My mama raised no dummies. I duck her rap.
Cut me some slack, Jack. Chump don't want to help, chump don't get the help.
Say, well, chumps don't want any help, chumps don't get no help.
This was a whole new side of June Cleaver, or as we now know her, the Jive Lady.
I speak jive, and it's a little hard not to pick up on the inconsistencies in the scene. She says, Dave, you know Joe, baby, when I come around with the bam damn. And I'm like, no, you would never say it like that.
I was amused by the Jive Lady without knowing that she was involved with the Beavers, or the Cleavers, or whoever they were. I thought she was awesome in and of her own right.
It's Davy Joe Bam Bam with the cam and damn. See here the difference? It's inflection.
It's number 97 on our list of awesome moments.
I'm gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
Quiz Whiz for $1 million, Alex. He's the all-time TV game show prize winner. Who is Ken Jennings?
All right, Ken.
30-year-old software designer Ken Jennings began competing on Jeopardy in June 2004. Thanks to a 2003 rule change, Jennings was allowed to keep playing and winning until another player defeated him.
Ken.
Who is Athena?
Right. Ken.
What is Catalan?
Catalan. Ken.
Who is Joel Grey?
Joel Grey, yes. Sarah.
What is Hindu?
No. Ken.
What is Islam?
Islam, yes.
It's very nerve-wracking to be on these shows with lights on you and an audience in front of you. You might forget your own name, let alone what is the Peace of Westphalia?
Ken.
What is Panama?
Right again.
You should stay on until someone whoops you, like anything else. I think it's fair. I have no problem with that at all.
It was genius on their part because it created huge publicity for the show, which it hadn't had in many years.
Jennings crossed the $1 million mark in July and continued winning. The guy amassed an astonishing total, the highest of any Jeopardy contestant in history.
I think that any time you celebrate people knowing stuff, it's a good idea.
We started TiVoing Jeopardy because of that guy. There are some really smart people that he made look like ass clowns.
To be on a game show that long and to always hit the buzzer and to always be right is amazing.
Jennings created renewed interest in game shows and boosted Jeopardy's ratings 50%.
If it was renamed the Ken Jennings Show, and I knew he was going to win every day, I'd still watch, because it's just weird to see a guy who knows that much crap.
One-day record, and now a total of $1,321,660. Will it never end for this talented young man?
We'll always remember the astonishing reign of the Trivia King, Ken Jennings. His winning moment. Awesome. The 1989 movie Field of Dreams told a modern-day fairy tale about second chances, fathers and sons, and, as the title suggests, dreams. Kevin Costner plays Ray Kinsella, an Iowa farmer who builds a baseball diamond in the middle of his cornfield after hearing a mysterious voice.
He wants to build a field and he doesn't know how to explain it to his wife. He just says, I think things are passing me by and I want to build a field and I can't explain it.
The movie pulls you in and makes you kind of work to keep suspending your disbelief that these incredible things are happening. And therefore the investment that you put into that pays off at the end and it becomes, it becomes a victory for everybody who's watching it.
In the movie's final scene, Kinsella reconciles with his long-deceased father, played by Dwyer Brown.
catch? I'd like that.
That emotional scene made grown men cry.
And Kevin says, "Dad," and I turn around and he says, "You want to have a catch?" Dad was not in the script. We never shot that. And it was put in later to make sure that everybody got it.
You don't have to be a guy to get into that. All you have to be is someone who loves someone that they lost and they miss them.
There's nothing greater than to maybe watch a movie and remember those that you can't love anymore and what you might have wanted to say to them.
The idea that somehow magically you could, for even a moment, reconnect and share each other's presence. God, what could be better?
The movie touched a nerve. Every year, visitors flock to the actual farm where the film was shot to see the Field of Dreams. And that one scene between father and son is our choice for awesome moment number 95. The series is called Will and Grace, but sometimes it's Jack and Karen who steal the show.
Jack is so crazy. He's sassy, he's a diva, he's selfish, everything we love.
He's the neurotic kind of bitter best friend who's very eccentric and a little over the top sometimes. And when things are going bad, he's there to make them worse.
Since the sitcom debuted in 1998, all 4 stars have won Emmys, and each actor has enjoyed an awesome moment or two on the show.
But me, I like the ladies. Right, bitch?
In the 3rd season, an unforgettable scene took place between Jack, played by Sean Hayes, and the pop diva he idolizes.
This whole kind of stereotype of the gay guy worshiping Cher is 100% accurate.
He had a Cher doll with him, and Cher was in the restaurant, and he thought she was a drag queen.
Hey, hey, hey. You're not that great, Mr. Sister. All right? I do better Cher than you.
You think so?
Actually, it's... You think so? Ho!
And then they had like a Cher off, and he told her that she didn't do it right, which was hilarious.
And I can turn back down! Snap out of it.
Awesome moment in entertainment number 94. After the break, the powers of Austin.
You behave.
Those boys from Boston and the real-life rescue that captivated the nation. Plus,
he had that voice and he's, take your panties down. Take your panties off now.
We'll be right back. Let's pick up our countdown with number 93. The moment was totally unexpected. A blending of star, setting, music, and movement that electrified audiences and set the box office ablaze.
The making of Saturday Night Fever was one of the most exciting things that has ever happened to me. The dancing is what stood out.
Saturday Night Fever defined an era.
The white suit, the lit dance floor. It encapsulated a period in time. And so it's almost like you're watching a home movie, like you're remembering back when you wore polyester.
Funky hairstyles and funky clothes always resonate, because everyone has a period that they thought was the coolest, and it really wasn't.
The location? A Brooklyn disco. The music? The Bee Gees.
It's the culture. It's the nature of the culture, and people want to remember it.
Anytime disco comes on, I don't care where you are, people just lose it. People want to dance to disco. When you think disco, you definitely think the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
When John Travolta as Tony Manero comes alive on the dance floor, a movie icon is born right before our eyes.
This is a fellow that wanted to be a dancer.
And he once a week gets to go to the discos, because that's all he can afford to do. And he happens to be the best local disco dancer. He'll clear the floor and entertain everyone.
23-year-old Travolta embodied rhythm, charisma, and sex appeal. The film made more than $300 million.
I don't get the popularity of Saturday Night Fever when Staying Alive is obviously the superior film, right? Just on the level of bell-bottoms versus spandex, right there.
The moment? Awesome. Some of the events on our list may not be considered entertainment, but they're powerful moments we all shared via live TV. For 2.5 nerve-wracking days in 1987, Midland, Texas became the site of the biggest news story on the planet. The event was covered around the clock. Millions of viewers were glued to their sets. An 18-month-old baby named Jessica McClure accidentally fell down a well in her aunt's backyard.
Here was a family that you could imagine yourself belonging to. So that could have been your daughter. That could have been your granddaughter.
Emergency crews swarmed onto the scene. Volunteers and rescue workers spent hours trying to save the little girl. Some of the time, workers could hear Jessica crying. The most terrifying moments were when they heard nothing at all. She became known as Baby Jessica. For those 2.5 days, men and women became emotionally attached to a tiny stranger in Texas.
If you look at what reality television is today, you will understand why the Baby Jessica story worked in 1987.
People were tuned into their television trying to get Jessica reports to see if they'd gotten her out yet, and everyone was praying that she would be alive because they didn't know how hurt she was.
After 58 gut-wrenching hours, the story of Baby Jessica ended happily.
It's one of those excruciating things that you can't take your eyes away from, even though you want it to turn out all right. And almost like a movie, up she comes and she's fine, and everyone breathes a collective sigh of relief.
Even the guys running the heavy digging equipment were moved to tears.
You don't like a hero? No, Jessica's the hero. She's the one that had the will to live.
It was a national effort to get this little girl out. So when she finally emerged from that well, and there wasn't anyone on the planet who wasn't rejoicing and excited. It was just absolutely a moment that shows you the human spirit and how we can all come together.
The rescue of Baby Jessica was a real-life miracle and one of the most awesome moments in popular culture. When a celebrity is invited to the Academy Awards, standing out on the red carpet is key. The process of selecting a gown is time-consuming and detail-oriented. There are wardrobe fittings, consultations with stylists, and meetings with designers. But one star in 2001 may have also employed an ornithologist. Bjork created a new look, poultry chic. This was not an awesome moment in entertainment, nor was it an awesome moment in the world of waterfowl.
First of all, what was Bjork thinking? I mean, was Bjork trying to be funny? I don't think so. That's what's so amazing.
But 8 months later, Ellen DeGeneres hosted the Emmy Awards. This ceremony had been delayed twice because of 9/11 and the war in Afghanistan. Ellen knew she had a tough task, to entertain an anxious audience while also respecting the seriousness of current events. At one point during the show, Ellen walked on stage wearing the same outfit Bjork wore to the Academy Awards ceremony.
Everyone knows that it's fine to wear swan in September, but is it okay to wear it after September? I don't know. I know it's duck after October, goose before November.
It was a wonderful move. I mean, it was a great stroke. It was a great way to break the audience's mood, to, you know, just kind of get the spirit up.
She's not making fun of somebody else so much as she's making fun of herself. She's down in the mud with you laughing at everything, and I think that's what makes her so brilliant.
Awesome moment in entertainment number 91. As the countdown continues, Adam Sandler pays a price, a vanishing act that stunned America, and
being naked and disgusting like that, oh, it was fantastic.
Welcome back to our countdown of the 101 most awesome moments in entertainment. Every year, thousands of people flock to Washington, D.C. and tour the White House. But these visitors only get to see a portion of the executive residence. Unless you're a VIP, most of the mansion is off limits. In early 1962, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy treated all of America to a personally guided tour of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. When JFK first took office, Jackie thought the White House looked drab.
She spiffed the place up. If you remember, Jacqueline Kennedy looked around the White House and said, "This is a bunch of junk. We need real antiques. We need quality paintings.
It just seemed to me such a shame when we came here to find hardly anything of the past in the house.
Here was a woman who believes that the White House and its occupants should represent the finest the country has to offer.
She led a committee to bring warmth and beauty to the place she called home.
I just think that everything in the White House should be the best.
No one did more to bring not only style and grace to the White House, but a sense that a family lived there.
Jackie wanted to share her new surroundings with the rest of the country.
Mrs. Kennedy, I want to thank you for letting us visit your official home.
3 out of 4 TV sets tuned into this unprecedented event. That night in '62, every person in America felt like a VIP.
It's through this door that all the heads of state come, and this is where the president meets them. So important, the setting in which the presidency is presented to the world, to foreign visitors, and American people should be proud of it.
Jackie personified glamour and sophistication and remains an icon of elegance to this day. A truly great moment. Awesome moment number 89 arrives courtesy of the man who put the grrr in Swinger.
Look at you, looking at me. Do I make you Randy?
A dentally challenged British spy named Austin Powers.
You have to understand, in the 60s, you could still be a sex symbol and have terrible teeth. We don't believe in brushing your teeth. You Americans are so soft.
He's not just a man playing characters, he is a schizophrenic man who becomes these characters.
This spy's mojo is so strong that he scores with the ladies despite his teeth.
But I can't imagine why.
I became obsessed with him. I think it's his teeth and his hair, especially the chest hair.
Totally unsolicited.
I think regular guys relate to Austin Powers because we figure if he can get sex, then anybody, right?
He's so goofy, and you kind of root for him in a sense too. Like he's lost his mojo. You kind of, because I think every guy's kind of lost his mojo.
Austin also has powers over pop culture. Rarely has a movie character introduced so many catchphrases.
I just talk how I talk, baby.
Do I make you horny?
Get it on, baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
Behave.
Oh, behave.
Oh, behave. Oh, behave.
Austin's one awesome spy.
Am I starting to make you horny yet?
Yeah.
There's never been a pirate quite like Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp earned a shipload of new fans and his first Oscar nomination by playing Sparrow like an inebriated Rolling Stone.
Why is the rum gone?
Johnny's hysterical in the movie. He's playing Keith Richards. He's one of the Rolling Stones. He's a pirate who's a rock star, so I love that.
The sole reason that has become a $500 million worldwide hit in such a franchise is Johnny Depp's performance.
In this pirate's world, being part of the Peg Leg and Parrot set gave Depp the license to behave very badly.
Not sure I deserve that.
And gave audiences an awesome moment or two.
Welcome to the Caribbean, love.
The one that makes our list is a swashbuckling sword fight with Orlando Bloom's character, Will Turner.
We have this huge fight. When I read it on the page, I was like, ooh, that'll be interesting.
You cheated. Pirate.
Tis awesome moment number 88.
Drink up, me hearty Yo-ho.
As the countdown continues, the life-changing moment amongst friends, and a hurricane hits Harvard. Plus,
that guy was so electrifying that it came through the television.
Stay with us. Welcome back to 101 Most Awesome Moments in Entertainment. During the summer of 2001, the lives of blonde beauties everywhere seemed a little brighter. You see, Reese Witherspoon championed the fair-haired cause in the surprise hit Legally Blonde.
Reese Witherspoon had already proved that she's a good actress and a likable personality, but here she just had a tailor-made role that she elevated to something else.
It was really exciting, and I totally took on the challenge and threw myself 100% into it, and I was terrified people were gonna like it.
Everybody's making all this fuss about Paris Hilton and Tinkerbell. Reese Witherspoon did it first, and she did it better.
This is the tale of terminally perky Elle Woods and her adventures at Harvard Law School. The admissions board has no idea what they're in for.
I'm going to tell all of you at Harvard why I'm going to make an amazing lawyer. I feel comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life. I object.
She was able to create this sort of very sweet, beautiful girl, but who makes it in the world.
The film rocketed Reese to movie stardom. And as the astute Elle Woods, she proved that blondes are worthy of being taken seriously in the workplace.
A lot of little girls came up to me after Legally Blonde came out and said, I want to be a lawyer now. I never thought about it before, but if Elle Woods can do it, I'm going to do it too.
I love Elle Woods. I am Elle Woods. Do you hear me? They could do that movie all over again with me. Legally Black. What?
Legally Blonde Reese, our awesome moment number 87. The biggest celebration in the music industry is the annual Grammy Awards. In 1999, viewers around the world enjoyed more than the usual trophy handouts and thank yous to the Lord above.
Thank you very much.
During the telecast, one performance set the show on fire. A hot new talent took the stage and paved the way for a Latin invasion. His name was Ricky Martin.
It really caught everybody by surprise. It became an overnight sensation in terms of really turning him into the #1 pop star in the country.
Anybody who saw that knows that they saw something. That guy was so electrifying that it came through the television.
It feels amazing when you see people that you admire dancing your music.
Ricky Martin just got me hyped, because I want to be able to do that on stage, I want to.
Even Madonna wanted a piece of the action.
Sorry, I just had to sneak up on Ricky Martin. He's so cute.
Music fans got a taste of La Copa de la Vida. The Puerto Rican heartthrob became a star overnight.
I feel great. Feel kind of crazy. A lot of things in my mind at the moment. Me siento bien un poco loco, muchas cosas en mi cabeza en este momento.
Ricky went on to shake his bonbon in sold-out concerts. He smoldered on the covers of countless magazines and sold more than 18 million albums by the end of the millennium. But it was his performance at the 1999 Grammys that cemented Martin's star status and became one of the great moments in entertainment. No one plays the lovable loser quite like Adam Sandler.
Oh, why didn't you just go home? That's your home!
In Sandler's breakthrough movie, Happy Gilmore, Adam is happy. Well, that's the name of his character.
His intentions were to become a pro hockey player, even though he didn't have the skills. One of those guys who couldn't admit he didn't have the skills.
In the film's most memorable scene, Happy has an unfortunate and hilarious fight with daytime TV's elder statesman, Bob Barker.
He goes out to play in a pro celebrity tournament, and I'm his playing companion. And this guy does not play well, and I begin to be critical and sarcastic.
There is no way that you could have been as bad at hockey as you are at golf.
All right, let's go.
Oh! You like that, old man? You want a piece of me? I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing.
Adam Sandler beating up an old man, Bob Barker, was his classic.
I was worried for my favorite game show hosting octogenarian until I realized that Bob Barker at any minute was more than willing to open the can of whoop ass all over Happy Gilmore.
You never see an old man beat up a young man. It should happen more, but you rarely see it.
And it was like, yeah, give it to him, Bob.
How about the fist is right?
Barker may have silver hair, but he still got the moves. Awesome moment number 85. Part 1 of our countdown continues. 3 words that started a franchise. And Michael Jackson makes thrilling history.
Everybody turns into zombies, and everybody since then has sort of become a zombie.
We're coming right back. Welcome back to the countdown of the most awesome moments in entertainment. As far as spy movies go, one name stands head and shoulder holsters above the rest.
Bond. James Bond. I'm a martini shaken, not stirred.
The film version of Ian Fleming's bestseller, Dr. No, introduced movie audiences to a very cool secret agent. The film marked Sean Connery's first foray into the glamorous and menacing world of James Bond.
John Connery was the best James Bond of all time. He had that voice and his, take your punches down, take your panties off now. And like, yes, Mr. Bond.
Connery made a lasting impression with his signature introduction.
Bond. James Bond.
It's a very rare moment in movies because you get a whole character and a whole style and a whole story, really, just from those words.
The Bond, James Bond, is great because it gives you those, 3 words to be able to say after you've had sex with someone you're never going to see again.
A Martian could land and just see that moment in a movie and say, so he's a pretty cool guy.
Initially, Ian Fleming was not that madly enamored of myself playing the part. I think when he started to receive his money, Fleming, his opinion changed a bit.
Other actors have played Bond and saved the world, but we'll never forget the first time Connery uttered
Bond. James Bond.
Awesome Moment 0084.
I sometimes think that I'm going to wake up and go, Matt, I had the weirdest dream. We wrote this movie, and then it got made, and Robin Williams was in it.
That was no dream. Ben Affleck and his buddy Matt Damon actually wrote Good Will Hunting, and the film was a huge hit in 1997.
I saw the script and went, no, who wrote this? Is your father here? Please, I need ID.
The boys became stars, They were young, ambitious, good-looking, and talented. How could you not love them?
They had this screenplay they had put together, and they weren't about to let go of it. They were going to appear in the movie, they were going to keep the movie and make it theirs.
Matt and Ben also took home the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
We never thought that anyone would buy it or that it would actually go through the Hollywood sort of channels, much less, end up winning Academy Awards, for God's sake.
Two unknown, regular guys without really Hollywood connections, and they write the screenplay and it wins the Oscar. I mean, it's just as much of a Cinderella story as the actual story of Good Will Hunting.
Obviously, winning the Academy Award was an awesome moment for Matt and Ben, but it was an awesome moment in entertainment because these guys personified the Hollywood dream come true.
It was a long road, but it's paid off.
You want to say you're living the dream, you look at Matt and Ben, and they did it.
Stay tuned for more truly awesome moments. One of the biggest TV events of the 90s.
When they finally got there, it was just delicious.
And one of the major music events of all time. Stick around.
We really tortured the audience. I was a year and a half before it finally happened.
November 9th, 1995. Like any other Thursday evening, millions of TV viewers prepared to spend a half hour with their friends. NBC's must-see Friends, that is.
The show of Friends, to a large degree, is Ross and Rachel and is their relationship.
Ross and Rachel's romance evolved from the very first episode of the series.
Ross, intelligent,
Lovable, fumbling.
Rachel finding herself is adorable and fun.
They're so right for each other, and you can see it, but they can't.
Why do people love Ross and Rachel so much? It's like asking, why do peanut butter and jelly taste so yummy?
He had a crush on her from the get-go, but it took Rachel a while to come around to Ross.
Ross loved Rachel. Rachel didn't know it. Then Rachel loved Ross. Ross didn't know it. Then Ross finally finds out.
Fans eagerly waited for them to hook up, and on this night, something special happened.
I really wanted it to be one of those fabulous chick flick moments. There was so much yearning and waiting that when they finally got there, it was just delicious.
Oh my God, it was so good. That was exciting. Yeah. It just is right. That relationship when they get together is always right.
Much anticipated, much enjoyed, much remembered. A kiss between friends is our awesome moment in entertainment number 82. In the mid-1980s, the plight of world hunger weighed heavily on the hearts and minds of many people. A group of recording artists decided to lend their talents to raise money for the cause. Producer Quincy Jones coordinated the event.
They just were checking in one by one. I started to feel that everybody was on the case and they weren't involved. And the egos, and that's one of the key words we had that night, was check your ego at the door. And everybody did.
Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote the song, We Are the World. Close to 50 major stars, including Stevie Wonder, Bob Dylan, Diana Ross, and Bruce Springsteen, gathered to sing out for the Ethiopian hunger relief program, USA for Africa.
I got a feeling that we're creating a shift. It's compassion, it's real new, and it's wonderful.
Remember when you used to get the pictures and you would look and try and identify all the stars that you could in the We Are the World photographs? Oh man, that was a great time.
It was one of the first times ever that these artists had come together, not just for an award show, but to work together. It hadn't happened probably since the 60s.
And the result was, in a word, awesome. The song's music video was eagerly anticipated. MTV built a tremendous television event around the world debut of the film. The single, We Are the World, sold more than 4 million copies and helped millions of famine victims.
We Are the World probably was the largest private fundraising event of its kind. We raised $64 million. That money was distributed 100% to take care of people in Africa.
Awesome moment number 81. Coming up on the countdown, the moments we live for.
There was something about that moment in time.
He really loved that moment. I could see it on his face.
Thrilling moments with Jack Nicholson, Michael Jackson, Julia Roberts.
It was probably one of the more extraordinary times of my life.
And more.
For me, there was only really one couple on soap operas.
It is one of the creepiest, grossest, most disgusting, great moments in film history.
Plus, classic moments from Audrey, Marilyn, and Marlon.
That was just a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Join us for part 2 of 101 Most Awesome Moments in Entertainment.
Do you think like he goes home and he doesn't know anything about his own family? He's like, oh man, it was your birthday? It was our anniversary?
He's the kind of man a lot of women are seeking.
Mr. Big, Mr. Big!
And who better to torture you on a small island than your ex-boyfriend?
That's actually how I met my husband. My husband is a Ricky Martin fan too, and we met in a Ricky Martin chat room.
My language is romantic. You know, it's in me, it's within me. There's nothing I can do about it.